Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls,
pretendadultworld going bad to bad.
Hey.
That you didn't know we doing
Hey.
bad
Hey.
to bad.
Hey.
Hey. Nah, I don't want to diss Meek Mill. I don't want to do it to him like that. We're back. Episode 3.
Dang, man, you energetic. I feel like I need to step my game up. Hey, what's up?
My bad. Designer just walked by. Yeah. Is Lil Uzi Vert back there too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight up. We're back. Pretend Adult World. Episode 3. We're getting kind of consistent, man.
Yeah, we're trying to keep this going.
I'm proud, man.
I feel like we do more shows than your typical podcast, but we're trying.
I think so. We're getting there, man. We're a reputable brand.
Right. We
Up
got a
and
couple
comers.
fans in here.
You know.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Autographs after the
show.
show. Hey, get off me, dang. Hey,
Chill, man. Leave Dwight alone. So we're here, Pretend Adult World, episode 3. How's it going, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know, new year, new me. You know, I'm still trying to stay honest to my resolutions. So.
How are do you want to share those with any of the listeners?
Well, I said I'd stay in the gym. I'm doing that.
Okay.
I'm trying to eat healthier.
No double cheeseburgers?
Well, instead of double cheeseburger, now I get the chicken wrap at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
So, you know,
it's a step.
It's right.
It's a step in the right direction.
Exactly.
And that's what matters.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
One foot in front of the other.
That's how you move. But all right. We're going to start off with some high school hoops real quick. Last week, the big game between Pebblebrook and Wheeler. Somebody, not gonna say any names, made a wrong turn in Albuquerque and missed the game, but that's not what is important. It was a pretty good game though. Pebblebrook and Wheeler came out strong, took an early lead. Justin Tucker, shout out to him, played with him at LA Fitness the other week. Good kid. Today was actually signing day. I don't know where he signed, but it's either Indiana.
So signing day is across the board, basketball and football.
Football, yeah.
Oh.
Even though ESPN would have you think it was just football.
I guess that's what sells.
Yeah.
I was looking at it today. Yeah, it was a lot of crazy moves. But yeah, I didn't know it was for basketball too.
Yeah. So it was between Indiana and Villanova for him. I didn't see anything I was looking up, so I guess we'll find out sooner or later.
Sure.
But he had a pretty good game. Came out strong. Jordan Usher dunking like he always does. Mini Aaron Gordon.
He's a. I always say he's an Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine fusion.
Yeah, he's in there.
Spawn, I guess.
He's only going right though.
Yeah.
But hey, he's going to
going right
Southern
until
Cal.
they make him go left.
Going right to Southern Cal next year. So be out on lookout for him. But anyway, Wheeler came out strong in the first half. They were actually up by 15, but then the Young Bulls. Now, this game was supposed to be a home game for Pebblebrook, but it was actually at the Cobb Civic Center,
Which ended up being a home game for Wheeler.
Pretty much. But I can say this. Pebblebrook, and specifically Colin, definitely got some home court calls. You want to know how many free throws Colin shot? 22. 22 free throws in a high school basketball game.
Wow.
You should have seen it. He was flopping his head back like James Harden, like. But he went 20 for 22, so I can't be mad at him for that.
Hey, I mean, right. Take advantage of it.
Right. Finished the game with 35 points. Came down to the end. Wheeler was down by 3. Darius Perry shot a ball, airballed, but luckily the coach called a timeout, so it didn't count.
Wow.
And so they ran this basically the same play again, and he shot it and just missed it off the back rim. So Pebblebrook won 80-77.
I want to talk about that really quick because you said that Wheeler jumped out to a big lead, 16 points. Mm-hmm. Now, the games that we've gone to, what does Wheeler do? They always jump out to this huge lead. Then somehow, last couple minutes of the fourth, the team really, they find a way to climb back into the game when they really should not even be in the game.
They get complacent.
Yeah, and I feel like you feel it the same way, I'm sure, that Wheeler, they're just too talented. Mm-hmm. They're too talented of a team to have, what school what was that? That wasn't Westlake, was it?
Yeah,
Westlake.
Game was Westlake.
Yeah, Westlake is a good team, but the way Wheeler was playing early on in that game, it should have been a 20-point blowout. They ended up winning only by 9. And like I was saying, they'll get up so big, and one, they get complacent, and two, I just feel like they're always trying to trying to get the highlight.
Yeah.
So they're pushing the ball every time when you're up 20 points. Like, coach, it's time to clear the bench. Your players already got scholarships. Right. Like, they don't have nothing else to prove.
There's a reason why they're on the bench,
Yeah, you're right.
But I would say, I would definitely agree with you. They're so talented, but I think the issue is that aside from Kenny, because Kenny's the role player in the starting five. Aside from him, nobody else really knows, like, hey, I needed to defer because this guy's getting hot, or he's hitting a couple shots, so let me get him set up. Nobody really sets the table, in my opinion.
And this is coaching. I mean, I don't even know the coach's name. What's his name?
Douglas Lipscomb.
And he's been there for a while, Yeah.
That new gym is named after him.
Oh, wow.
But basically, like we said, big game. Well, Westlake beat Pebblebrook yesterday.
Yeah.
Colin Sexton didn't play, so we're not sure what the injury was. But Pebblebrook, let me go back. LeBron, he pulled the LeBron Paul Pierce. But since Westlake won yesterday, what that means, Westlake wins the region unless they lose to Campbell, which I doubt that'll happen. But big game Friday. I'm not sure if Colin plays or not, but Pebblebrook, Wheeler, ESPNU. You want to see some good high school hoops? Check that out.
We should be there in that game. Hopefully both of us.
I won't be there.
Last thing before we move on. Mm-hmm. I should have been at this Wheeler Pebblebrook game. I had a couple of off-court issues. An exchange of words with my girlfriend. We exchanged words.
The words were exchanged. Per Elias Bureau. No, what's his name? Chris Broussard?
Chris Broussard, right.
I love it. He looks at his phone and he's like, oh yeah, it's confirmed.
But yeah, I missed the game. I got up there to the Cobb Civic Center after having a slight detour. But I got up there and it was a zoo, man. They were at capacity. Well, when you text me, that was during the girls' game.
Yeah.
They were already at capacity, and it got so packed that the cops came outside and there's a bunch of people outside. They had to tell us, like, no one's getting in. Even if you got a ticket, you're not getting in. So
I don't care if you know Colin. You're not getting in. But, yeah, they're playing Friday. Big game. Be on ESPN. I won't be there. T might. But the region tournament is supposed to be at Wheeler, so I'll probably be there for a few of those games.
Okay.
So the next thing I want to transition to, since we're on a little sports tip, the feud. No. Not Soulja Boy versus Chris Brown. Not Floyd versus Conor McGregor. But LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Versus Charles Barkley.
LeBron James.
40 points.
Listen
50
to
points.
20 point, 30 point.
Krispy Kreme round like the rim. But so.
Shout out to Aries Spears.
Right. Let me give you a brief synopsis of what's been going on here. So, LeBron James, they won the championship last year. So, that's this third championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 6 straight finals.
Yeah.
So clearly he knows what it takes.
7 overall.
7. Clearly he knows what it takes to get there. So LeBron was complaining to management saying that, hey, we won the championship last year and the Warriors went out and got Kevin Durant. What are we doing? Like, JR's injured. When Kyrie comes out the game, and
how do we
he's
stack up with them?
Right. We don't have, a guy that can, take over aside from me and Kyrie. Like, we're going to have to rest at some point to match up with that lineup. So LeBron was saying that, we need winners.
I want winners.
We need playmakers. And Dan Gilbert basically was saying, like, oh, no, we're fine because, he's in management and he's the one on the court with LeBron. So obviously he would know what it takes, right?
Right.
So
the same Dan Gilbert that wrote that.
Oh yeah, that nasty.
The letter, right?
It was an email, nasty email. But yeah, that same guy. If I was LeBron, I still would have came back, but that's another thing. But pretty much, Charles Barkley was agreeing with Dan Gilbert, saying like, "Hey, LeBron, you're supposed to be Mr. All Talented, and you wanted Tristan, and they signed Tristan. You wanted to bring back JR. They brought back JR. Like, where's your competitive spirit, or whatever? Like, where you want to compete? Like, they've given you what you wanted." And so LeBron fired back and said, "Hey, Charles Barkley a hater, like straight up. Like, I'm not taking this no more. Like, he's just because it's on TV, that doesn't make him credible." So LeBron was like, "Look, there's a new sheriff in town." So that's
LeBron read him his rights. As the cool thing to say now.
You know what? LeBron probably watched Westworld. That's where he got the sheriff thing from, man. He might be a host.
I gotta be alive. My family, my kids.
Nah, he got the Michael Jordan reveries. He got some Magic Johnson reveries in there. Like, he got it all, man. He got it all. But so, what side are you taking in this feud?
I'm gonna say, okay, look.
Or give me your thoughts. You don't have to.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you both.
Okay.
I feel that LeBron, I understand he's frustrated. I mean, Charles Barkley does a lot of, talking. But, that's Charles Barkley's job. A lot of people do a lot of talking about LeBron. And he's surrounded by it. He hears it all the time. It's just like, why are you attacking? I felt that he was using Charles as, I don't know, the scapegoat. Like he just wanted to focus, like he was just letting it all out on him. And I just felt like it was unneeded. Like that's from that perspective, it's like come on, LeBron, like everybody's always talking about you. Why are you singling out Charles Barkley on this moment? I just feel like he probably just reached the boiling point and just wanted to use this example or use this moment to kind of get some stuff off his chest. And Charles was the perfect scapegoat for it.
Well, Charles is the latest and greatest to talk about. I mean, he already went off on Skip Bayless. And since Skip Bayless isn't on ESPN anymore, nobody listens to what he says. Not a fan of Skip Bayless. But
Undisputed.
Nobody's watching that. You watch that?
Nah.
Exactly. Pretendadultworld does not watch Skip Bayless. For me, I am on LeBron's side, and I have an issue, this happens in not just basketball, a lot of sports where you have the legends like to come out and just, say things to be relevant. And so this is one of the huge problems I have with the whole, he doesn't want to compete, he should play with the guys.
Back in my day, Ernie,
4-on-5.
Ernie, back in my day, we wanted to go up against the best.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but this is the
20 point, 30 point.
This is the example that I want to give. If you go to the gym to play basketball,
Yeah.
obviously you're there, you want to play, you want to compete, you know? You want to play against good people. But you also want to have good people on your team, right?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want to go up against a D1 team with a group of ninth graders on your team, you know? It has nothing to do with the people you're playing, but you're like, hey, you know, I want to compete, but
When you go in an open gym, and you know you're about to play a pickup game, when you look on the sidelines, you're looking for the best,
right?
Whoever looks like they're the best player. So you're
not gonna
make the best team.
He can't shoot. He ain't got no left hand. Like, let me get all him.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. He's athletic. He can dunk, and and he can shoot. I want to play against him.
Right. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Like, could you imagine that? Just going to the gym, like, oh, he ain't made a shot in 3 days. Let me get him. This old man brought a son in. Let me get him and the son. This girl don't even play. She been doing squats outside. Let me get her too. Like,
yeah. Sometimes I feel that these analysts, quote unquote, I feel like they're unfair when it comes to that, because everybody wants to win. Deep down inside, as a human being, you want to win, and you want to do it the easiest way possible.
What about Carmelo? He might be in it for the check.
Oh yeah, I mean that's still winning,
right?
So.
And he got Lala, so hey,
right.
I like Carmelo. Shout out to Melo, but
stay mellow.
Hashtag.
All right.
But yeah, like you were saying about the analyst.
You know, they try to make it seem like they're doing something that they wouldn't do themselves. Like, you want to put yourself in the best situation to win,
right?
Or to be the best at whatever you're doing.
Right. It's like
you want to surround yourself with the team that's going to help elevate you to the level that you want to be at.
Right. And that's like, if you look back, like LeBron brought this up when they first started chastising them for going to Miami. Like, one, there was less teams in the league back when they played, so the talent wasn't as spread out now, you know, as it is. So it's like, if you look at the Lakers, you had Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You look at the Celtics, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish. Like, these teams were stacked, but nobody's talking about them because, and on the Celtics tip, they were that good. And they drafted Len Bias. You know about Len Bias. So you had all these teams that were stacked up, but the only reason you're not talking about them because they were able to draft these players, but there were less teams. So that's why you have, you know, it wasn't stacked,
right?
Or, you know, spread out like it is now. But, you know, that's just how I feel.
And I'll say this too, you know, a lot has changed in the game. A lot of it, they're trying to keep it competitive and entertaining still. You know, it's a lot of money involved with the NBA. So they're trying to keep the teams fairly, you know, evenly matched, which is hard to do, but you can't force players to stay on the team. Shout out to Chris Paul. Out of everybody, he should be the most upset
right
today in today's NBA. Because they vetoed his little trade scenario. I feel bad for him about that.
I don't, because I hate the Lakers. But
think about, I hate him too. I hate him with a passion. But think about, you know, for his legacy, if he never wins a ring and like that was his only chance.
The only reason that happened, though, the main reason that happened, though, is because at the time, I believe, the NBA actually owned the Hornets or the Pelicans. So that was a whole, like...
It was a whole finance... Well, a whole market.
Yeah, because they were like...
issue.
They felt like it make them uncompetitive. The Pelicans, or... I think they were the Hornets at the time. But it would have made them uncompetitive to make that switch. So, like, if it had been another team... you know, that the NBA didn't own, they had an actual manager, the trade probably would have went through.
Okay.
But, you know, like you said, it's a business. David Stern knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Said, Kobe, nah, not this time. He's playing with Derek Fisher.
Right.
But that makes me think about another thing like that I kind of hate, which it's a big mentality in sports, but then I also find that people apply it to, other areas in their life. And that's people that have this by any means necessary mentality. And like, it just kind of bothers me. Like, if I go to the gym, I'll just use that example, and I'm playing basketball, and like, I'm going in for layups. Like, mind you, this is competitive exercise. I'm going in for layups. You grabbing me. I'm trying to run down the court. I don't even have the ball. You grabbing my shorts and stuff like that. And like, hey, whatever you got to do to win. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I'm like, no. Like, if you had the necessary skills and the knowledge of the game to begin with, you wouldn't have to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like that mindset either. The by any means necessary. It kind of takes the integrity. The integrity of the game is really, affected when you have players playing that way. You got what's the boy from Duke?
Grayson Allen.
Grayson out here tripping kids and kicking kids, and then you got Draymond practicing kicking field goals on players. It's like, it takes away the integrity of the game, and that's not fun to watch, in my opinion. Now, a little bit here and there, okay, but when it gets to a point where you're starting to become known for certain stuff,
right,
and then your argument is, whatever I got to do to win, like, I don't like that.
No. Not at all. Like,
it's a difference between playing tough and then just playing cheap and
right,
dirty. So
definitely, like, I just feel like if people would, if you work harder in those other areas, you wouldn't have to play like that. Mm-hmm. Like, and let's not even talk about sports. Let's move into the other side of life. Like, people with that, gotta hustle, 24/7. Gotta keep this money. I don't sleep, man. Hey,
sleep is.
Don't do it. We talked about this last time.
I stopped.
Good.
I stopped.
But you know what? You know what cracks me up like so badly? When I hear them give their little spiel, I want to ask them like, "Hey, how much do you make?" Now, I sleep like 8 to 10 hours, maybe 12 hours on the weekend. Let me tell you how much I make. Like, I hate when people have that, that hustle mentality. They want to act like they're doing this and that. And it's like, I like to think I'm a humble guy. Like, I'm thankful for what I have, but I know I work for it. But when people, are in, say, somewhat lesser position, but they feel like because they're hustling or whatever, they're doing better, I'm like, look, man. What Chris Rock said, don't make me crush you with my wallet, man. Like, you got an iPhone, but you can't pay the bill. You know how many iPhones
Jordans, but you don't got your own place.
Right.
It's priorities.
Right, like, you caught up in this lifestyle. You're like, I gotta get it. I gotta
grind. I gotta hustle. But you just, like you say, you're hustling in all the wrong ways.
What Jay-Z said, you're hustling backwards.
Like, and the other thing that we always say, work smarter, not harder.
Yes.
But I think some people just like, I don't know, like, not that they don't have the capacity to work smarter. It's something about them wanting to come off as,
it's like we talked about,
I'm a hustler.
Yeah.
Like that, like that's a cool thing when, like, hey,
you don't have to be a hustler. Like, that's what cracks me up, because I see the guys at the gym, they be like, I'm hustling, this and that. Then they come outside, they see my car, they see the different shoes I come in there, they be like, what do you do? I'm like, I sit behind a computer for 8 hours a day.
Humble brag.
Like, they're like, I want to do what you do. I'm like, well, if you get the knowledge and take the time, to get these skills and get these certifications, you can do what I do, but you too busy. I got this one job, but then I'm gonna get this second job. Like, work smarter,
not harder. Yeah, I'm working 9 to 5. As soon as I get off, I'm heading to the second job. Job number 2. Yeah.
Hey, well, to each his own.
Blame rap. Blame hip hop.
But
in its current state.
what did Jadakiss say? He said hip hop depreciates the value of luxury.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting point you bring up about, some of them feel like they just gotta, they gotta hustle, they feel like they gotta get that struggle. And to me, that kind of sort of goes to the,
Oh, this would have been a good transition.
No, I was gonna say
because you remember we were talking about.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay,
I'm like,
we
were talking about last week about Split.
Sorry, dang, I messed it up. Oh, I was so excited about it.
Everybody, let's clap for T, because he didn't make it to the game, but he did go see Split.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you start off. Tell me how'd you feel? How you feel about?
I accomplished something this
M. Night
week,
Shyamalan Blam.
M. Night Shyamalan Bam Bam.
Before we start, there will be spoilers. We're gonna talk about the whole movie flowing through. So
that's good. We got to make sure we do that kind of stuff when we start talking about
Yeah.
movies. Hey, we're new to this, so sorry. Give us a break. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
If you don't want to hear this, skip about 10 minutes. Dang.
About
click.
10 minutes.
Once we get good at this, you'll be able to just
Yeah.
click on the topic.
Yeah, we'll get that. Spoiler alert, everybody dies. No, I'm just kidding. But
They all die.
They all die. So
They were all dead. All right, we're about to get into it for real.
tell me how did you feel about the movie?
It was good. I liked it. I liked I'll say this about M. Night. He really put it all together in a good story. I like what the elements he used. It was almost what's the word I'm looking for? It was like a a revitalized M. Night, like a throwback to his younger days.
Younger years.
Yeah, when he made Sixth Sense and Unbreakable.
Even though he still put himself in the movie, but go ahead.
Yeah, I saw him
That's what he does. You
rocking
gotta
the
expect
Jerry
it.
curls now, so
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
It's like I don't really
It's like
watch
Spike Lee.
I was gonna say Stanley.
Oh
from,
yeah, both
Yeah.
the leads.
Say the leads, yeah.
They
David
got to
Lee.
be in their movies.
Right. But so you feel like
I feel like it was good. I think it was a well-paced movie. I think the story really developed well. Not saying I didn't have any issues. I'm just speaking on the good points right
Oh, that's
now.
good.
The characters, I like the girl. I like the girl a lot, actually. I think she
the main character,
yeah, the main
Taylor Ivy.
Yes, yeah, I liked her. She
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen her in any other projects.
She
I
was
think
in this movie called The Witch. I liked it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, she did a great job. So yeah, I liked it, man.
I liked it. I was disappointed. So yeah. So I'm not gonna say I'm a huge fan of M. Night, but I like his movies. And most of the time, his movies, people don't like them because, the twist or this and that. Like, I know his movies are bad, or, kind of bad. Some of them are. Except for Avatar, I never saw that one. But that's
we're never gonna
discuss that again.
I don't want to hear that.
Ever. Not even
I
like,
don't even want to hear like just
not even if we're talking about
that movie that
Avatar.
Ooh, see, just the word Avatar just brings me back to a bad
call
moment.
it an AV or
We'll just
a
be like
picture. Mini picture. But I was disappointed because, and me and T talked about this when the movie first came out. You have a guy who's got multiple personalities, and he's kidnapped these girls. So we're like, it's an M. Night movie. What's the twist gonna be? That's all I cared about. I'm like, the premise looked good. I'm like, I want to know.
That's what M. Night is known for.
Right.
When he's on, those twists be on point.
And so I won't talk about the twist just yet, but I felt disappointed because I felt like it wasn't an M. Night twist for me. Like, it felt like he tried to make a real movie for once, and I was so disappointed in that. It made me so disappointed.
That was a good twist.
Not to me.
That was it. I'll break it down to you later, but I felt it was a good twist.
Okay, so pretty much
That was a good twist.
We're gonna run through the movie real quick.
Let's start from the beginning.
There's a girl who's an outcast. Her father died when she was younger. Her uncle was sexually molesting her or abusing her, and so she would just like run away, and she was the outcast girl. But there's these two other girls, and one of them, it was their birthday, so the dad and his corny dad jokes made her invite everybody, in her class to the party.
So let's go back to that point. Okay. The fact that he invited the girl. So did he know the girl? I guess did he know about what's her name again?
And I don't remember her
the main
name
chick,
in the
right?
Yeah.
Did he know about her?
I don't think so, because remember when she was in the corner at the end, and
but he was like, invite everybody. Like he knew about her and was like, you know what, you need to invite this girl to the party because.
Actually, yeah, because then the girl, remember, she was like, my dad was like, it's gonna look weird if I invite everybody except her, so that's
what it was.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
So she was there, and she didn't really have a ride home, so the dad was like,
she wasn't really interacting with anybody either. She just was there.
The dad was like, we're not gonna leave until everybody's gone home. And so since she didn't really have a ride, he's like, hey, we'll take you home. All the girls get in the car. The dad's putting stuff in the trunk. Next thing you know, Crazy McGee gets in the car, starts spraying them. I forget what that stuff's called.
He's like, what is that stuff called? I meant to look that up.
Chloroform.
Yeah. Chloroform. That's exactly what it is.
But he starts spraying them down with chloroform. Got the two girls in the back. Then Anna's character tries to escape, opens the car door, and it beeps. You know that sound cars make when it's in drive.
The
doors open?
Yeah.
I don't think she still would have got it. See, I felt like in that point, she should have made a quicker break. Like, he was cleaning his glasses. He wasn't really paying attention. You got to open that door and Usain Bolt out of there.
But it's like it's an interesting situation to be in because that shock factor, like everything's just happening so fast. She's like, what the fuck is going on? You feel me? See, like
I do, but
I know.
Go ahead.
And it is a movie still. We got to remember that.
Yeah.
We can't have her get out the car because then movie's over.
The movie's over. I mean, he still got the two girls in the back though.
Oh, you could have, yeah. But movie still be over with them.
So this is the issue that I have because I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, it's a hectic moment. It's moving so fast, like you don't know. But then at the same time, you see after he chloroforms them all, he takes them back to his little, underground basement dungeon or whatever. But you see like these survival instincts that she has at that point. So it's like for her to have that shock in that moment,
it shouldn't have happened. Yeah,
it shouldn't have happened.
But then at the same time, you got to remember, this is not something that just happens every day. Yeah. She did adjust, which I think he did it the right way because even though she did have the experience, think about it, like you're not getting kidnapped, on the regular, like so you're not getting training on that, like
right. Kidnap 101,
right?
How to defend your attacker, right? But yeah, I mean I agree. It was just for me, and also shout out to Cinnamon Sins. Watch that YouTube channel all the time, Once you watch their videos and start watching them, like you start picking up stuff like that when you watch movies, like that wouldn't happen, this or that. So that's just me being picky. So don't worry about it. But so takes them down to the dungeon. The two Valley girls are scared shitless, like they don't know what to do. They're like, we should fight them. That's our only chance. And Anna's character was like, look, bitches, you don't know. Like, you don't even know. Right. My father was a great man. No, he was actually terrible to the movie. But that's when she really started applying her skills. Like, look, obviously he has us here for a reason. We need to figure that out. And then that's when they start to figure out, like,
So one of the things in the movie, I guess it kind of followed a plot. Well, it kind of had like you know how most movies do a certain thing, so it was starting to do that, like where you can almost pick out like the characters, like a formula, like okay, this girl's gonna be, you know, the leader, and then these girls are just the dumb ones, you know. So it was kind of following like that formula, and yeah, that was one thing I didn't quite like. Like they could have got the other girls more, could have gave them more depth. Like they made them very dumb. I'm like,
I feel like it worked.
I mean, it worked, but I was, I'm not saying the movie was bad because of that, but I was just like, they would have gave them a little more, made them a little more realistic. You know, it would have helped. But.
Shout out to Jessica Sula. That was the light skinned girl,
the one who lost a skirt.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I just took a guess.
Yeah, shout out to her, man. Hey,
shout out.
Hit us up. P_adultworld. But so they're in the dungeon, they're trying to escape, and then they figure out that he has multiple personalities. Anna's character is like, oh, Anna, shout out to her too. But they find out he has multiple personalities, so her character starts basically like, okay, well, you know, we got to figure out why he wants us here, or if we can turn the personalities against each other. Meanwhile, one of the personalities keeps emailing the therapist, like saying, hey, we're in trouble, or, you know, who is it? I think Dennis, what's his name, Dennis? The one that was in charge?
The very articulate and neat freak.
Yeah,
right?
I think his name was
Dennis.
Dennis.
Was one of the ones who was in charge.
But it was Dennis and the girl.
Miss Patricia.
Yeah, Miss Patricia.
The woman.
And so basically of the 20... Was it 23?
23.
Yeah, the 23 personalities, those two were like the evil ones.
That's how I remember. But yeah.
Because what did they say, Dennis? They're like, Dennis has a propensity to watch young girls dance naked.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay.
That's why I was asking them, oh, something on your shirt.
Right.
You gotta take the whole thing off. We gotta clean that.
But so basically, like the two other girls try to escape.
So I'll say this about the personalities, why I feel Dennis, Patricia, and then you had the boy, I forgot his name.
I don't remember the boy's name.
Some with
Hedwig,
yeah. Etc.
Hedwig.
Etc. Anyway, yeah, so you had Miss Patricia, Dennis, Hedwig, and
I don't remember the fashion designer, but you
something with a B. Barry. Yeah. These were like the four main ones. Mm-hmm. I felt like they were the strongest personalities, I feel, and that's why they were able to share the light. So the guy knows, the kidnapper, he knows that he has this split personality symptom, or, you know, disorder, and he's getting counseling.
So we had another technical difficulty.
I promise we're gonna get it right. I promise y'all.
We're gonna figure it out.
Please, just bear with us.
Yeah. But so you were saying that we're talking about the movie Split. He had the multiple personalities, and he's getting counseling.
Yeah, he's getting counseling, and so we're kind of at the point where the movie like kind of starts. You know, they've progressed to the point where they've identified his several personalities, and I guess it's a technique they use, or he visualizes his personalities like all in a room, and they're all sitting in chairs, and then there's a light, and the light is symbolic for who is in control at the time. So when it comes, you'll hear a lot of times throughout the movie, like, oh, you know, he's letting me, like, I have the light now, or, you know, we're sharing the light, or, you know, so and they really focus on those four people who really has control over when they can access the light and take control over what was his original name? Kevin or something like that?
Yeah, Kevin something. I don't remember.
I think it was Kevin. Yeah, so I think Kevin is the original. Dang, I don't even want to say that. But the original guy, in case I'm wrong, he dang, I forgot forgot what I was gonna say.
The original guy, like, he was never really like the guy. Like, he never really had to like himself.
Right.
But the certain personalities, like, just kind of took over. But they were all working in unison to keep him, healthy or keep him running, and so on and so forth. So, pretty much, there's like an evil 24th personality, and that's not even a twist.
Yes.
There's an evil 24 personality, the Beast, and the Beast will do bad things and condemn the people and so on and so forth. And the Patricia and Dennis and Hedwig, like, they kind of want the Beast to come out of him, and the therapist doesn't believe that there's actually a beast. He thinks it's just a made-up thing that one of the personality uses to kind of keep
everyone in control or try to control people. Yep.
So pretty much we're gonna roll through this. The two girls, the ditzy girls, try to escape. One of them gets locked in a room, and the other one, I think they're both locked in the room.
They're both locked in separate rooms.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Anna's character is still trying to like manipulate Hedwig and figure out how they're gonna get out of there. There's a walkie-talkie, so she gets in contact with somebody, but they think she's
well, we still gotta, before you go too much further, make sure that we kind of touch base on Anna's background, because it's very important on her trying to manipulate one of the personalities. So when Anna was younger, she just kind of she went on these hunting trips with her father, like around 4 years old.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird. That was another weird thing to me. Like, your daughter's like 4, but you're taking her out here hunting deer and shooting guns. Anyway, so she would go with her father and her uncle. They would go out hunting, and the lessons that she learned from hunting, wild animals, she kind of applies to her life, and applied it to this situation in particular, being abducted and kidnapped. So, and that's also where her little traumatic issue happened with her uncle, where her uncle was molesting her or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah,
so
we got that. So the therapist actually comes and like figures out that something's wrong, because he keeps emailing me, but every time he comes here, he says that nothing's wrong. So the Beast gets unleashed. The Beast comes and he's all like veiny, and apparently his body's like morphed into this big muscular guy. So the Beast comes, he's like crawling on walls.
This is a really cool part in the movie, because it's really, one of the messages that M. Night was trying to do, show was, you can be anything that you put your mind to,
Right,
like,
that's the underlying message.
You want to fly, you can fly, So it was pretty cool that, how he did that with that character.
Right.
So go ahead.
So, yeah, so he's turned into the Beast. He comes, he's like eating the organs of the two girls that try to escape, and the only way to get him out of that is to say his full name, and so he kills the therapist.
And another thing, he kills the therapist. Another thing with that Beast character is that M. Night was trying to prove that people with multiple personalities, it's like a theory in the movie where like these people with multiple personalities is like an evolved, the next level of being a human. Like they're on the level of evolution.
Right.
So that they're, smarter than the average human, and that they can do like amazing things. But this is like a theory that's played on throughout the movie.
The therapist was trying to prove at that conference, but nobody was really buying it.
Right.
And now she's dead. So the Beast kills the two girls and the therapist, and then Anna's character is like, says the guy's full name, and he kind of snaps out of it, but then doesn't. And so So what happened? What did happen after? Oh, so she's running.
After he says his name.
Yeah, she like snapped out of it, but then didn't. Right.
He came. It was the original guy.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Was like he snapped back, and what's really crazy is that the normal Kevin, the original guy, he was, I guess, out of the light for 2 years. So the last thing he remembered was riding on a bus,
right,
2 years ago, and he doesn't remember anything else after that.
So the beast comes back, and she has she had a shotgun, right?
Yeah, because Kevin, before he lost his body again to the beast personality, he told Anna's character to kill him.
Yeah.
He was like, just kill me because, I don't want to hurt anybody. Like, it's out of control.
Yeah.
Shotguns over here. I got the shotgun cases in the room or whatever. So.
Yeah. So she has the gun, and she goes and gets the cases, and she's loading it up, and she's like running down this hall, and ends up in a cage, and he's outside the cage, and she shot him like 3 times.
She shot him, about 2 to 3 times, and
he's like, nah.
Blood
in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas try to take my life away. Come on.
Well played, Z. Well played. Again, the human mind is amazing. I mean, you are whatever you think you are, to an extent. This was kind of exaggerated dramatization in this movie, but he really thought in his mind that he was this like super being, this evolved human being. So he was, he was faster and stronger. And another thing and I'm sure this movie has some kind of, based on a true facts or something that, the personalities were all different, right? And they all had unique things about them, or, one personality, was a neat freak, the other personality stuttered or something, and then one of the other personalities needed like an insulin shot or something because it had high blood pressure. So it's like in his mind he's thinking these things like, oh, I'm this girl, my blood pressure is high or whatever, so I need to take this this medication to bring my blood pressure down. I'm this guy, I'm a neat freak, I can't I get obsessive OCD when it's dirty, and then, so it's really interesting to see him like when they made this beast thing. Now he thinks he's this like this superhuman, and he takes 2 shotgun shots like
to the chest,
2 shotgun blasts like point blank range, and not even phased. It was kind of cool.
So he takes the 2 shots. She has herself in the cage, and he's like ready to rip the bars open.
Well, he was ripping the bars.
Was ripping the bars open, and she had like took her jacket off or missed it, and then he sees like the scars on her, like I think with stomach and shoulders.
Saw the scars on her stomach and on her shoulders
where she had been cutting herself, and then he realized like, oh, she's been through something traumatic too. Let's rejoice.
She's been through the struggle.
Right, like she had a real struggle, not a fake struggle.
Right.
And so, pretty much,
that was the other thing we didn't explain too. Well, the whole reason why he let her go was because this whole thing that these personalities, the strong personalities, Dennis, Miss Patricia, and I think, those two. They said this beast personality is, like I said, superhuman, and it needs the blood of the pure to thrive, to live, to survive. So this is the whole reason why they kidnapped these girls, was because in their mind, oh, these are pure girls, they're innocent, they haven't been through anything, so their blood is pure. That was the whole concept of the pure blood thing.
Right.
Until he's ripping through the gates, like literally pulling them apart to get to the final, or the main character, And then he sees like, she has cuts on her from self-inflicted wounds. And he's like, oh, I can't even eat you now, because he was eating these girls. He ate the other 2 girls.
Yeah.
So he was like, I can't even, eat you because, your blood is unpure, which is in his mind, that's a good thing, because unpure blood means, like you say, like you've been through something, so you're more adapt to survive.
Right.
So I know that this is gonna bring you to.
So
Well, let's finish the movie. Yeah.
Well, so he let her go, and then she realized like there was a window or something. She got out the window, and then they figured someone came downstairs and was like, "What are you doing down here?" And so he carried it out, and they happened to be under like the zoo the whole time. And I guess
that's where the whole concept of the beast came from. Yeah, was that the animals?
And I think the guy actually worked at the zoo.
Yeah. The guy was he was like did something in
security or something like that.
Something like that.
Probably security. That's probably how he had the walkie-talkie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But so they let her out, and then this was the other thing that made me upset. We'll go back. There was a flashback to when Anna's character was a child, and her uncle had just finished molesting her in the woods, and she actually had a shotgun pointed right at him and could have shot him, which I wish she would have, and she didn't.
Well, wasn't the gun was empty, right?
I don't care. Pull the trigger.
She did. I think she did.
Nah, she didn't pull the trigger.
Oh,
because he was just like, "This is dangerous. Don't do that." And
no, but then he cocked the gun. He like loaded it, like he checked. And it was empty, right? Because it didn't.
She's 4. Shoot the gun. I don't care. It would have been symbolic to me. But so, the cops come and they tell her like, "Hey, your uncle's here," and she gives them that Michaela Maroney look. You know who that is, the gymnast.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
She gave him the Michaela Maroney look. So I'm thinking, I feel like, and they didn't really touch on it, but she probably finally told the police about what's been going on.
Did she or did she not?
We don't know.
That makes it
it's
good
just
ending.
Like that scene in It Follows. We'll never
right.
truly know.
But see, it makes you think. He did it. It was intentional.
It's open to interpretation. Yeah. But so after that happens, then there's a scene where they're in the diner.
Oh, I like this part too.
They're like, this guy has multiple personalities, was keeping these girls kept under there. They said he took 2 shotgun shells to the chest and still survived. Reports the police are calling this guy the Horde. And so there's an old lady, and she was like, "Oh, this reminds me of that guy that went crazy like 15 years ago. What was his name?"
And there's a guy on the end
that
end
leans
of the coffee
forward,
table.
And he was like, "Mr. Glass." And you know who that guy was? Bruce Willis.
Yep.
Now, for those of you that don't know, M. Night had a movie that came out exactly 15 years ago, or roughly around 15 years ago. Yeah. Called Unbreakable.
I didn't realize it was that old of a movie.
Yeah. I went home and actually watched Unbreakable after I watched Blitz.
So you never seen it before?
No, I'd seen it before, but I was trying to figure out, I'm like, did anything really tie up between the 2 movies? Which it didn't, but it's 15 years ago. I don't think he knew 15 years ago.
He's making a cinematic universe. You know how Marvel has the MCU?
And that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like he tried to make a real movie for once, and it disappointed. It was a connection, but he tried to make a real movie for once, and it really disappointed me. So basically, Split is some kind of sequel to
no, not a sequel. It's in the same universe.
It's a sequel
as Unbreakable.
Yeah, part 2. That's what I'm calling it. But so that's the twist. I was disappointed. I was thinking the twist was gonna be like, maybe there aren't multiple personalities, maybe there's clones, or what did we talk about? We were saying like maybe the girls were part of the
maybe they're aliens.
Right, like
maybe the girl the one that I was hoping was that the girls were also personalities. All part of this one guy, and towards the end of the movie, you start realizing that he's just fighting with himself. Like That would have been more of a M. Night
Yeah.
twist, but I'll say something. I'll say something else. That wasn't a twist. The twist was when she was in the back of the cop car, because you didn't. That towards the end of the movie, like when she's when they're walking out of the zoo, and she's being carried by the guy or something, right?
Yeah.
And she's starting to have those flashbacks. Like that's when you find out, oh, her dad died. Oh, her uncle took care of her, right? It's like, oh, like, dang, this girl this is why she was cutting herself, and she's been holding on to this for years. So then she gets in the cop car, and then it's like, hey, your uncle's here to get you. You ready to go? And it's like, the twist is that she went from one prison to another. She's going from one prison, or being trapped from one place, and just going into another bad situation. That's what I feel like the twist was, because I'm like, oh man, like, she's going back to her uncle. Like, is she gonna say something like whoa, like, I didn't know she was still living with him.
Right.
I thought something happened, or she'd said something, or he died or something. I didn't know he was still alive and she was still with him.
Nah, fam. So and we'll wrap this up real quick. There's a theory that if they make another movie off this, that she may end up being Bruce Willis's like sidekick. What do you think about that?
Oh, I would like that.
That's
Maybe. What, did Bruce Willis have a daughter in the first one?
Nah, he had a son.
Okay. I was like, maybe he might end up
But he hasn't
adopting
been
her or
through
something.
So
And then that was the other thing about the movie, is that they tried to make it seem like it was about a struggle. You had to struggle in order to be something special. Like, if you don't struggle, then there's no way that you can be successful in life or adapt to changes. So
that's what they have you believe. But
yeah,
that was a movie split. I was disappointed. T liked it. Teach his own. So now we're gonna get to. We're skipping the PAT. We're going for 2 today. We're going for 2 in honor of Mike Tomlin.
we're gonna end this in regulation.
In honor of Mike Tomlin, our Kappa coach, we're going for 2. So the first pretend adult tip, we're going for 2. Use your words. You'll see little kids, they be throwing a fuss and a fit, and what do the parents always tell them? Use
your words.
Your words.
Jimmy.
Like, if you want something, or you gotta use your word, because communication is the key. But what they forget to tell you is it's verbal communication. All too often, so much. So it makes me think about
Condense it.
I'm trying, man. It makes me think about relationships and such. Like, a guy, a certain kind of guy, could tell a girl that, I like you, I really care about you, I want us to be together and work, using his words efficiently. And the girl's like, oh, I don't believe him. But then she won't express how she feels, because she is like, oh, she feels like through her body language, or mental telepathy, telekinesis.
Yeah.
Like, he should just know.
No,
and it's like, if you don't communicate with someone, what did the great philosopher Quavo say? I don't know how you feel till you tell me. Like, shout out 5A. But if you don't communicate with somebody, whether it be, your job, you feel like you need a raise, or you need some time off, your significant other, if they're doing things you don't like, how do you expect them to know this or work on it if you don't use your words and tell them?
I feel you. I don't know why it seems like women. I'm not even gonna say women. I just think it's a certain type of person, but I guess most times it is women.
We can only talk from our experience.
Yeah, we're talking from experience. Okay, where they just kind of, just want you to just know everything. Just like it doesn't work that way.
But hey, it's different. Remember that.
Like, all right, so here's another example. Is when women are upset and they're like, and you're like, oh, what's wrong? Nothing.
Well, I'm gonna go on the couch, watch this game, order a pizza.
I'm gonna play Madden, and you do you then.
Right.
I think it's real funny. Yeah, but
like, just talk, like,
right, just talk it out.
That's part of friendships and relationships. Like, nobody's perfect. Nothing's ever gonna, fully connect. But that's part of it. Like, on both sides, you gotta be willing to work at things to better yourself and want to better each other. So,
yeah,
it's
a two-way street. Yeah. If you really want something to work, then you have to be willing to put the work in. And yeah, and if that's not the case, then you need to move on, or
right.
leave it be. But that's from a relationship and friendship
right.
point too. Like, there's no point in trying to hold on to friendships that aren't benefiting you. Sorry, just saw a highlight on.
We're watching the
City
game.
Chicago game.
Westbrook. But
enough said with that. But yeah, communication on both ends. Both parties have to be willing to work at it. See the value in the communication, and that's the first step to making the relationship better. Because
you'll find that if you use your words, that's when you'll what you really want, what just how you feel in general. Because no one can really blame for somebody how they feel, but then after that point, that's when you'll find out who's really your friend. Not they didn't show up to such and such. Like, after you tell somebody how you feel, and it's something they may disagree with, how they react afterwards will tell you, like, oh, if they take it, like, and they say, like, oh, you're like, oh, I don't like such and such that you do, and they come back at you like, I don't like this and that, then like, hey, they're not willing to compromise or at least talk about something. That person's not there for you. But if you guys can have a conversation with your words about, okay, I don't like when you do this. You don't like when I do that. Let's try to figure out how this would work. That's when, you get the true unity.
You get the true
connections.
You know what I mean?
And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. So use your words, people, please. So a second point, in addition to use your words, but also be more efficient. And so let me tell you a quick story, because I was having some trouble trying to come up with some, pretend adult tips for this week. And what really made me think about this, so me and T used to work at the same job, and we'd always go and have lunch. And so at the mall in the food court. And so there's this Chinese place where this guy, every time we walk by there, he's like, hey, sir, hey, sir, hey, come have this.
Sir!
And he's just trying to get us to get a free sample. But
he make it so personal. Like,
yeah.
Like, you be feeling like, dang, he really know me. Like,
no, I'm like, nah, you don't know me.
No,
you don't know me. You might see me in a food court, but you don't know me.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's funny to me because we literally went to eat there for what? 2-3 years?
Yeah.
And never got a sample. And he knows it. I know he recognized us. Because there's other places I go to, shout out to the pizza shop, I actually get a discount because they think I work at the mall. But it's like, that's how often I go there. So they know. But the fact that we go there not every day, but 2 to 3 times a week, and he's yelling at us, and we never once got anything. Like, at some point, either the words you're using aren't working, or you gotta re-strategize your approach. Like, hey,
Right.
these guys obviously don't want any, food, so let me be more efficient and move on to the next one, or figure out something else as opposed to just yelling. Why are you yelling at me, man? Stop. So
I was going to say one thing too. This is why he hasn't changed it. Is because it's working for somebody else. It's just like that dude try to holler at that girl in the club.
She ain't work.
He's playing the numbers game. Yeah. Shit. Hey, red dress.
Nope. Green dress.
All right.
Blue dress. Drop top.
Raindrop. It's gonna work on. It's worked on somebody. That's why they don't change, because it didn't work on them, but I know it's gonna work.
Now, I completely agree. That is a method.
But the sad thing, like you're saying, going back to your point, the effectiveness, like you're not being effective. You're not being efficient. Sorry.
Yeah. You holler at 12 girls, you only get one number. Not very efficient.
Right.
Steph Curry goes 1 for 12. Yeah, he hit the one, but
yeah, a kicker goes 1 for 12. That's even better. He made that one field goal, but he's not gonna have a job at the end of the season. That's not. You're not doing a good job.
They gonna cut him before the bye week. You on 1 for 12.
Exactly. So
that just kills me. Like, you gotta be more efficient. Like we said, work smarter, not harder. Like, you can make things so much better for yourself. Figure out, the processes of what you're doing and how you could be more efficient in it. And you'll find you'll have more time to do other stuff. You might get more than what you're putting in, Like, there's so many things or benefits that you can get from being more efficient in your daily, routine, but you're not using your words. And you're being complacent with less than average results, you know?
Yeah.
But they struggling, so at some point it's gonna work out for them, right? It's gonna work out. But so, people, use your words, be more efficient, keep on pretend adulting.
Yep.
So today, get out your yoga mats and your green leaves and your little saucers, cause it is tea time.
Yeah,
Hopefully y'all caught
tea
that.
time.
What you got for me today, man?
Oh man, I was gonna have two, but I'll save the other one for another podcast, since we've been kind of rambling. I know y'all want to go home, y'all want to go to sleep, but just bear with me for a few more minutes. All right, so it's tea time. Z, shared a story with you earlier. I just want to share this with our listeners, with the pals.
Go ahead.
So, came across this story on social media, Instagram. Down in Duval County, good old Jacksonville, Florida. There's been leaked video.
Visual evidence.
Yeah.
Probably some genetic DNA evidence as well, but
This is self-leaked. This woman posted a video on her Twitter. I don't even know who it is yet, but posted a video of herself in a courtroom in Jacksonville, having some adult fun.
not pretend adult phone. This is real.
Yeah, right. She wasn't pretending. She was
She was a real adult, and
and he was a real adult too. Yeah. So it just brings me to something I want to share. Like, this day and age, I don't think, where are we at in society? Like, no one has any kind of like no kind of moral code, no kind of dignity about themselves, no kind of respect for themselves, or maybe things are just changing. So we're at a point now where like people are like gladly releasing sex tapes and promoting, doing whatever it takes to get likes, to get follows, to get attention, to get 15, what is it? Their time in the limelight, and it's just really crazy to me.
Shout out to the freshmen on Instagram straight flexing.
Oh, pop Molly, woo.
But yeah, man, like you saying, like people like attention, which it's okay. Everybody likes attention.
Right.
I like attention, but you gotta be aware of where you're getting this attention from, and like why is it so important to you that these people you've never met like your photograph or comment on something. Like, you don't know these people, they don't care
fame,
about
man.
you.
Yeah.
It's some temporary fame, and it's not even real fame.
Right.
Like, is that what you... I was gonna tell them to look at the video, but don't even look at the video. Like, is that what you really want to be famous for?
You can Google that, what I said, or you can go to Lil Duval's page. Shout out to Lil Duval. He be posting some deep shit sometimes, I gotta say. Sometimes it's just majority of the time it's a bunch of ratchetness. But anyway,
that's what the internet's for.
The
internet's your friend.
I'm not gonna say that it's well, we're changing as a society. Like, this kind of stuff is what's acceptable.
Yeah.
So with that being said, be on the lookout for my sex tape next week. See, I'm gonna go ahead and get ahead of the paparazzi and the media, and just let you know it's coming. No pun intended.
Make sure you upload it in 720 at least.
Yeah, 720.
It can't be.
HD.
I'm not gonna watch it, but the ladies, if they look at it in 480,
well,
yeah.
Well, that might help me out.
That's gonna wrap up Tea Time. This has been episode 3 of the Pretend Adult World podcast. He's T.
He's Z.
Not to be confused with T and